All right, my friends, welcome to episode 260 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry, the professor at Prof Plays Games on Twitter. Over there is Anthony, the dev at Summer Speak. And before we begin, I just want to say RIP RBG. It's a very sad day for our country.
Rest in power.
Absolutely. And we're going to fight like hell.
Yeah.
Do what we can. How was your weekend?
Generally uneventful. Spent some time with family. Got to go hike the nerdy park in Tacoma, named after Dune and the author of Dune. Fitting with that Dune trailer just coming out too. Yeah, it was nice to get outside. No more smoke up here. So we took advantage of the clean air, the clean Pacific Northwest air.
Nice.
I heard it's very hot down in Southern California.
Hell yeah, it is. It was like 100 degrees again.
Yeah, we heard that was like, nope, it was like 68, 70 degrees here. It was great.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Just so you know, my recorder turned off again.
Okay.
So I think I'll have to have you email me your file because
a problem.
Or you can just put it up. I've already done the pre.
Okay, yeah, I'll just put it up.
draft.
Yeah, I'll just attach the file and post.
All right, thank you, perfect. My weekend has been good but hot, like you said. Yeah, just kind of feel like the continuance of Groundhog Day here. But we wrapped up watching Schitt's Creek this weekend.
Okay.
Which is a show we avoided for a long time because I don't know, the name wasn't appealing to be perfectly honest. But we heard enough buzz that we started watching it probably a month ago, and it has become one of our favorites of all time. It is incredible, and I'm really sad that it's over.
Didn't it win some Emmys tonight, I think?
It fucking swept. This first show, drama or comedy, to win Best Actor, Best Male Actor, Best Female Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Female, Male, Best Supporting Actor, Female. In history, it just fucking crushed it. People are like, why is this your last season? So we've been enjoying that. And then other than that, we've all been enjoying PS5 news and the showcase and the fucking pre-order
craziness
fiasco. Holy shit. I wrote shit show in our show notes, but
it kind of is a shit show. It's chaos.
Yeah. It didn't quite pan out, and not necessarily entirely Sony's fault, but it didn't pan out where we would get a ton of advance notice because they didn't announce it, the date or time in their showcase. And then it came out on a tweet a little bit later, and then Jeff Keighley was basically carrying water. I'm not carrying water, but like doing the PR for them basically. And I just can't help, so basically like Walmart put out a thing saying, we're not waiting. You can get the PS5
get them now.
Yeah, go now. And then everyone just opened up. I think Walmart's where you pre-ordered yours.
I did.
And I just
the first one.
Okay, so you got two. You got one from Amazon, probably too.
Yeah, I'm canceling Walmart. I don't want it.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to support them. So
thank you. Yeah, someone sent a link.
And there's definitely a part of me that's like, I'm like, Amazon. We'll just scale my giant corporations here on worse. I don't love Amazon, but I like them a lot better than Walmart. So
yeah, exactly. I guess the whole debacle about the date and all that stuff and how it wasn't in the show, and there were a couple other things in the show that we'll get to that kind of seemed like this has been in a can for a while, just waiting for them to they wanted to run Project Nimble, drop it whenever. But I wonder if the pre-order thing, based on some reports from GameStop and a couple other places that Sony didn't give them a hard street date, that Sony just kind of quickly did the pre-order thing to beat Microsoft to pre-orders, and then the chaos ensued from that decision. I don't know if that's something
I don't
that
know.
seems accurate.
It could be. I mean, you can come up with any type of conspiracy theories of what's going on because we don't know.
It's QAnon.
We have absolutely no clue.
Yeah.
What was behind the scenes were, how this was supposed to go. It went how it went, and I don't know what part of that really falls on Sony, what Sony was doing, and what they messaged or didn't message to retailers, or is it Walmart breaking date and then these other GameStop, let's be honest, doesn't give a shit about street dates anyway. On pre-order stuff anyway.
Neither does Target, by the way. I got my Mario 3D All-Stars like 4 days or 3 days early.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's definitely, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be crazy there. And once one of those retailers breaks, they're all going to break.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And Best Buy's website just broke completely.
It was like 2.5 hours. I actually
totally, so this is the thing. I totally expect all this insanity is going to happen even around the Xbox One. Mm-hmm. It's going to be different, but it's still going to be chaos. And everyone's going to get pissed off again. Just Microsoft this time because they didn't get one. This time because scalpers are going to have it and resellers are going to grab everything.
Right. And that one's weird because I don't understand how the alt access thing is going to work, where you have to like basically apply for a line of credit as you're, checking out with your
Who
Xbox.
knows?
That seems like, if I'm in Best Buy and I'm, getting stuck loading my cart to pay, and in that time frame, someone else yanks that stock basically.
Yep.
I don't get it. Like you're expanding the time to checkout by doing this all access thing. I don't know, man. It's going to be a fucking disaster, but maybe.
I think that's just pre-orders in the modern day now. It's just disaster.
Well, these RTXs, right? Those
those were
in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, and most of them went to scalpers.
And that one's interesting because I don't know is it NVIDIA? Is that who makes the cards?
NVIDIA.
Okay. I don't think they give a fuck because they got the money. Whereas Sony, they want that box into someone's hands eventually who's going to use it to buy software.
Yep.
It's slightly different.
Yeah. But they also don't want to cut out. So the thing is, Sony, I mean, clearly they're doing some first party sales from them now. I don't know how much that lottery ended up being, number of people. And I know that they probably want to keep some stock for that. But then there's that balance line of they can't cut out the other retailers, but they can't control the other retailers. So there is something to be said. It's like, you could have just done a lottery for your entire initial pre-orders.
Right.
And
kind of like they're doing
all,
in Japan.
All through you, only through Sony. But then you're going to get, my God, are you going to get Amazon and Walmart and Target and Best Buy all very pissed at you?
They'll be like, we're not going to carry any of your shit then.
Yeah. But I just feel like it's a catch-22. And in the current age of modern digital hyper-connected, pre-orders are just fucked for everything all the time.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Sneakers, fucking high-end audio.
Yep.
Video cards, everything. And it was funny because the link, I put my phone down after that whole Best Buy thing. I was like, you know what? I walked into this saying I'm okay if I don't get it. Initially, I didn't think that I would jump in. I would wait, but my price point was $400, and that's what the DE ended up being. So I was like, all right. And then Mario, I just happened to look at my phone when I was going upstairs with my wife, and then you had sent a leak, said it's up, and it was Wario 64's link to just basically click it, and it just drops it right in your cart. And I think that was maybe to avoid bots. I'm not sure how that system is
I don't know.
signed. But I was thankful for Wario and then you, because that's the only way that I got it. Everything else did not fucking work. And it was 6 minutes that DE was up for sale. The disc one was longer, but
there's clearly like probably one digital edition for every 4 disc editions out there. It seems to be about what the breakdown is.
Exactly.
They definitely have manufactured more disc ones. I assume expecting people will want physical media mostly.
Or is it any way to kind of appease or make the brick and mortar stores happy? Because why would GameStop want to sell a fucking digital disc edition,
Yeah. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, that makes sense. Maybe GameStop is those retailers are like, we don't want them. So
I heard reports this weekend from GameStop employees that were like, we have 35 disc editions and we have 2 digital editions to sell.
And so who knows if it's Sony doing that or GameStop just saying, hey, we only want a very small number of digital editions. Because honestly, likely, of course they do, because they want to attach game sales to it from at launch. Like GameStop has all their bundles. Like, get the console and these 2 games and everything. And harder to do that when it's a digital edition.
How many parents are going to walk out of an online store with a digital edition plus some disc games?
It's going to happen.
Yeah. What? I can't put it in this fucking machine?
Yeah. Oh boy. So yeah, I mean that event happened. I mean that was I think the big fallout was just the chaos around pre-orders and the messaging and the whole thing. And it was insane.
Well, and like other things from the showcase, like Demon Souls.
Yep.
To not say this is a launch game and then immediately
it is a launch game. Yeah.
It is. Right. Keely's like, this is a launch game. And Sony.
Yeah, and then Sony had a blog post that had a list of the launch games later that day.
Right.
Like it just wasn't on the trailer, which was weird to me.
It just makes me think it was in the can weeks ago, just ready to launch whenever. But wouldn't you? It's like a JPEG, right? Just put up the screen.
I mean, you'd still have to. Who knows? I don't know.
Distribute it and whatever else.
Yeah. But either way, I mean, it was weird. It was weird on what's launch, and the stuff wasn't specifically said it was launch in there. A number of things where you're like, is this launch? Is it not?
Well, there was another thing with Demon's Souls where it was hinted that it would come to other consoles eventually or something like that. And then PC. That's not true.
It's PC specifically.
Oh, sorry, PC.
There's a couple things in here that had trailers that specifically said PC. like the opening with Final Fantasy 16, which said it would also be coming. It was console exclusive, and then it had an asterisk also coming to PC.
Right.
I
mean, that whole what they showed was built on a PC.
Yeah, exactly. It opens as like, hey, running on a PC, which means that thing is so fucking early. We're not going to see that game at least until 2023.
Yeah, I can believe that for sure.
I was still blown away in the fact that it's actually Final Fantasy 16.
It looks great.
I was like, what the fuck? I did not expect to see that anytime soon.
It looks like the vibe of 15, but without the sci-fi.
Yeah, no, it's fantasy. But then I showed it to my wife, and she's like, "Wow, it looks really dark." And I'm like, "It does. It does seem." And to a point where she's like, "I don't want to play this," because she wants the whimsy of Final Fantasy as well. Mm-hmm. And this did not look whimsical at all.
Oh no. Game of Thrones, emo, dark.
Yeah, which I was like, that's a take. I mean, it's fantasy again, which is cool. It looks cool. The director is the guy who relaunched Final Fantasy 14.
What a great choice. Because that guy resurrected that fucking game.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of quality. Like, the combat designer is the guy who did Dragon's Dogma.
Right.
And, like, another fighting game. Like one of the Marvel vs. Capcoms.
That seemed so obvious from the trailer because I thought it looked so different than other Final Fantasy games that I'm used to. You know,
it does.
Shades of 15 with the sword throwing teleport thing.
Yeah. So, like I said, though, it will be years before we see that thing. They even said in the trailer, like, you will not see anything more on this game until 2021.
Right.
And I have a feeling that's going to be late 2021. Like, if there's an E3 next year, that's when you'll see it again.
Mm-hmm. But that's the kind of thing you want for a showcase like this that says, like, okay, you know some of the short-term stuff you're going to get when you get a PS5.
Yep.
You know, then a launch window. Here's something you'll get later.
Yeah. I mean, they showed that. What else did then they went to Miles Morales, which we've now learned is also going to be on PS4.
That just seems like a no-brainer.
Install
days, you know?
They're not. Here's the thing. Sony wants to sell games.
Mm-hmm.
How do they sell the most game? Also have it on PS4. The one thing is when they're showing this on the PS5, there is no way that looks nearly as good as what the PS4 cannot have nearly the number of objects and particles and people and models on screen at the same time as that PS5 gameplay preview, which was an insane amount of things going on screen, rendered all at the same time.
Well, and the parallel is when they were talking about bringing Spider-Man Remastered or whatever you're going to call it. Or maybe it is Remastered. Where they talked about that same thing. Like on the PS5, you're going to have more pedestrians, bigger draw distance, obviously less load times or whatever.
Yeah, or like no load times.
Yeah, exactly. But it's all of that. That's like the promise of the PS5 is like, here's Spider-Man, but more. So I'm sure that Miles Morales will be, here it is, but less on the PS4.
Yeah.
The curious choice in that realm is the next Horizon Zero Dawn is also coming out on PS4.
Yeah, I saw that. And I'm very confused.
You know, again, you want to sell software. There's the PS4 has 16 million or whatever out there.
Yeah.
You don't want to like not sell to that fucking audience. But I feel like there were things in development that they said they couldn't do because of the PS4 that they wanted to do. So are they going to not do those things again because they're also going to sell on the PS4, or will PS5 have something different?
PS5 might have something different, is my thought.
Yeah.
Or I know the one thing that people always the Gorilla had talked about is that they didn't have flying mounts and stuff.
Yeah,
because of load times. But there's also a possibility now that they've tried flying mounts and they're like, this is terrible and we don't want to do it.
Yeah, right.
And so I guess the thing that was holding us back from being on the PS4, we're not going to do anyway. So might as well put it on the PS4 too. Because that is very likely a possibility. They prototyped it and were like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Which happens a lot when making games, I'll tell you that.
I feel like that would slightly break the game. Like
exactly. It could totally,
fast,
it would definitely change a lot of the level design and the world design.
Right.
And they may just decide that they don't want to do that.
I can just fly the fuck over it.
Yep, basically. It's why you don't have any kind of flying in Breath of the Wild.
Right.
I mean, you have your glider, but you can't just spontaneously be like, I'm just going to take off and fly places.
Right.
Which would ruin so much of that game. So it's, who knows? I don't even know when Forbidden West is going to be out at this point. If it's also coming to the PS4, I would expect sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it seems like next year would make sense.
Yeah. It's still close enough in this cross-gen time frame. So we'll see. I get they want to sell games, and really, because I did see people online that were kind of upset about it and everything, but there's definitely a thing where I'm like, if Forbidden West is the thing that you want for a PS5 specifically, and now you have a PS4 and you're like, oh, why do I get the PS5? Don't get the PS5.
Yeah, you don't need it.
You don't have to. If that is okay with you, just running it on a PS4, don't. No one is holding a gun to your head to buy a PS5.
Right.
If anything, this in my way of saying, Sony is kind of being nice to you, going like, you don't have to buy the new box. Like, it's okay.
And what advantage is there for Sony in someone buying the box to get Horizon when they can get it on the PS4? Like, they're selling the PS5 at a loss.
Yeah.
So they don't care. Buy whatever.
So
I think for me, like, the issue is not like I'm happy that they're going to continue to support PS4 because I'm going to keep mine, and that's great. It was just the whole like we believe in generations, and like the way that they purposely marketed that against Microsoft's like all these generations together or whatever, just seemed like a lie.
Kind of. There's still exclusive things that only going to be running on PS5.
Yeah, like Ratchet. That thing.
Ratchet, there's no way it's running on PS4 because it's so integrated in gameplay. I guarantee you, Gran Turismo is not going to run on PS4.
Right.
What they showed there, there's no way it runs. So, I mean, I think it's just a matter. I think really it's just this beginning period, and it's kind of what I expected, that there'll be some bleed on both ways. A lot of the same way that happened with the PS3 to PS4 jump. There was a lot of cross-platform games there for a year and a half or so.
Right.
It's just, people want to sell games, and they don't want to just put their games on one system at the go. Like, it doesn't surprise me a lot of these games are also going to come to PC.
Right.
Like Final Fantasy 16, of course it's going to come to PC. Square wants to make money.
Right. And that's a pretty big market.
Sony can only offer them so much money. Right. And same with Demon's Souls coming there. Like, that was one where I'm like, because they removed the trailer and put up a new one that didn't say it's coming to PC, but it's probably coming to PC.
They just don't want to say it now.
They don't want to say it right now, and maybe they don't know when it will come to PC. It took a while before they ever put Horizon on PC, so it could be a few years.
Do you think that Horizon 2, on PS5 $70 and on PS4 $60? Or do you think they'll be $70? I don't know.
Across? I have no clue, because the Miles Morales thing, have you seen the pricing on that?
Yeah, it's $50 for standalone and then $70 with the bundled with Spider-Man remaster.
And do you see how much it is from PS4?
No.
$60.
What?
Yep.
Wait, it's $50 on PS5.
Someone leaked
PS4?
that was taking pre-orders, and they said it was $50 on PS5, not non-deluxe, $60 on PS4.
Okay, that doesn't make okay.
Yeah, that was just some retailer that had it up, but I was like, that's weird.
That's the opposite of what I would expect.
Yeah. So I think I saw that on a link out of where was it? Reset Era forums. Someone had a link to that, and it was a retailer just being shown, because a lot of places don't have the PS4 version up. Right. I'd have to find it again, but it was really, 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 really odd to me. Because why not? I bet the PS4 is going to stay at 60, honestly, for Horizon, the next Forbidden West,
and then
PS5 will be 70.
Yeah, that's what I would expect as well.
Oh wait, there's been a correction. It will cost $50 on both PS4 and PS5.
Okay,
there we go. The Verge corrected this weird thing, but yeah,
that sounds bizarre. So, what was your pre-order experience like? The first one, the Walmart one.
It just went through. I clicked a link, checked out, had it.
You just got in there early enough?
I guess so. Huh. The website wasn't crashing. Nothing weird went on. I just went click, 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 out. Done.
Okay.
And Amazon went the same way.
Yeah, Amazon. That's how it went for me.
Yeah.
I had on my Target app, I had the disc version I could pre-order. And I was like, do I want to do that? And then I refreshed and it was gone. It's like, well, okay.
Nope.
Guess not. I did get the Pulse headset from there. It was out of stock, and then it was back in stock.
Yeah, no headsets for me right now.
Yeah.
I'll stay with my Astros.
Yeah, no, that's a good set.
But, is there anything else? Oh, no, they ended it with God of War.
Oh, yeah. Ragnarok.
Yep. Next year, 2021.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, I could see it. I bet they've been working on it for a bit.
Yeah. I don't think Barlog's working on it, though. I think I saw the name of a woman who helped ship God of War, said that she was directing it.
So Balrog moved on to something else.
Yeah, and his dad has COVID right now, and he's dealing with that stuff right now.
I see.
Really sad.
That sucks.
But yeah, there's been no talk of him being in that role, so it seems like I believe I don't remember her name, unfortunately, which is fine. Great. Still going to be good, I'm sure. Man, God of War is such a good game. We were having a discussion over text, all of us, about games of the generation, and that is definitely one of them for me, top 10. So good. And I just did not like the other ones, so was surprising for me to learn. But it's such a different game anyways.
It is. It's beyond the character looking and being named Kratos, like similar. It is not the same character and the same games as the first 3 God of Wars. It is totally a different thing, different beast, which is good. And I think they needed to reinvent that one, and they did, and it worked out well.
Yeah. At the end, they announced the PS Plus collection, which if you have PS Plus for the PS5, you get access to a digital library that you can download, which is nice, of 18 or 20, basically first party plus a couple third party games.
It's good games.
Great games. Persona 5, God of War, Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
What's the one Insomniac did at the beginning of the generation? Something Sun. Infamous Second Son.
You mean Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch,
yeah. Sorry. Sucker Punch, not Insomniac.
Yep.
What else is on there?
Bloodborne.
Days Gone, Bloodborne, yep. So it's kind of cool because people Xbox folks who are jumping into PS5 can play a bunch of those games they never had access to. And then someone like me who's moving from the disc version to the digital version, like a lot of those are the discs that I have.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
It's a good collection of games, and it's very strong, being like, hey, here's Sony's first-party games, like really good first-party games. Enjoy. And they're all going to be better on PS5.
Yeah, I wonder about that. What
performance will probably be better
in terms of load times or
load times, frame rate. I don't think they'll remaster how they look. I just think they'll be running at a higher frame rate, and load times will be better.
That's
they can stick their. I don't think Uncharted, I think, still a 30 FPS game. I don't know if they would increase it to 60 or hold it at 30, but it's always at 30 and never drops.
Right. And this is the ignorance of me, which is why I'm glad you're on the podcast. If you go from 30 to 60, don't you have to have more animation, like different poses? No. Okay.
No. I mean, you could. It depends on how they exported their animations. Did they animate at 30 frames per second, or did they animate at 60 frames per second and then just only play it back at 30 frames per second?
Oh, okay. That's probably number 2. That would make more sense, wouldn't it?
It would make more sense, but who knows? Different games do it differently. So, depends on how forward thinking they were on some of this. But yes, ideally that they could potentially run at faster frame rates. It would be cool. And yeah, I assume loading times will be quicker.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if this is going to expand as time goes on, because there are notably missing things. Like Horizon's not in this list. And I'd expect that. Spider-Man's not. And there's part of me that's will they add Horizon to this when Forbidden West is about to come out?
Makes sense.
They
do that a lot. Where here's the PS Plus offering. It's Horizon because we're getting a 2 out.
Yeah. And so they'll be hey, we've added games to the PlayStation Plus collection. And then here's some other the normal PS Plus free games.
That would make sense as kind of the answer-ish to Game Pass.
Yeah.
I just thought they would bundle PS Now, but I guess not.
No, not right now. But yeah, it's a lot of game there.
More than I could play in a lifetime.
Oh yeah.
And I just keep buying them. Interestingly, we haven't had a full console breakdown, but I heard that they have Wi-Fi 6 inside of the PS5, which is nice if you have a router that can handle that.
You'll need it for downloading games that are 150 gigabytes. Jesus.
No, come on. Next gen will reduce the file size.
Nope. No.
So how excited are you? You got your pre-order in.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? What are you playing first?
Shockingly, probably just PS4 games that with a console that's not going to go insane while I'm playing games. That's my goal. I mean, honestly, I might pick up Miles Morales though. It looks really cool.
It's going to be hard for me not to. I'm not super stoked about that. It's fine. Spider-Man was fine. But to have the new shiny game at launch, I might opt for Demon Souls instead, which
I can't do it
because I don't like that kind of gameplay. But it looks so good.
It does look really good, and I'm God, this looks great. and then I'm going to hate myself about a half an hour after playing it and being like, why did I spend money on this? Because they're great games. They're just not for me, and it's okay. What is that release? Demon's Souls, Destruction All-Stars, Astro's Playroom, Fortnite, Devil May Cry 5, Special Edition, Godfall, Miles Morales, and Sackboy.
Wait, Sackboy's a launch title?
Yep.
Oh, well, okay. That changes my calculus a little bit. I'll be the one person who's excited about getting that on launch day.
There you go.
I'm a sucker for 3D platformers, sorry, or any platformer.
That's fine.
But also Astro on there. I know it's like a tech demo or whatever the fuck it is, but it seems reminiscent of Rescue Mission. So.
Just Dance 2021.
There
you go. Yeah. You can get on that.
I got that on my Switch. We're good. Or not 2021. I have 2020, which is like one of my most played games, just because we do that with my daughter all the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think of all the launch, that Demon's Souls is going to be a big seller.
Oh God, that's going to be people I've seen anecdotally, at least people just saying like that's a launch title.
Yep.
That is making me want to buy it.
Yep.
Or that's the reason why I bought it or whatever. Yeah, it's exciting. We'll see how Xbox handles theirs on Tuesday and what comes out of that. Who knows?
Yeah, what are their launch games?
I honestly couldn't name you one.
Although it was going to be Halo, but that didn't happen.
Right. I mean, their whole appeal is like play, 1,000 games at launch. Through Game Pass and then through, all your Xbox collection. But if you don't have an Xbox collection coming in, and you don't want to do a subscription to Game Pass, what are you playing? You're playing third party games are the ones that sell the most, I guess. So you're playing Valhalla. You're playing.
Oh yes, Valhalla's. I mean, this is the weird thing because Valhalla's launching on the PS5. I'm certain Cyberpunk's going to be on the PS5. I'm probably playing Cyberpunk as one of the first things I play on a PS5.
Yeah, but they said CD Projekt Red said that it's not going to be the PS5 version at launch.
No, but they said it plays well on PS5. So
yeah, right. You're not playing that on PC?
I might. I don't know. I'm getting both copy of the PS4 and PC.
Right. I have I've had Cyberpunk pre-ordered for 6-8 months, 10 whatever. For PS4, it's a disc version. Yep. I'm not getting a disc PS5, at least right now. I'm not. But I cannot cancel it. I keep trying to cancel it. It does not let me cancel it. I don't know what's happening. Every time I hit cancel, it just refreshes and says, what do you want to do? Cancel? Yes. Hit it again. Refresh. What do you want to do? Cancel?
That's weird.
Okay, I'm in a time loop here.
I mean, I'm sacrilegious. I canceled my collector's edition.
Wow.
I didn't need the statue. I'll be honest.
No.
I looked at the statue and I was like, the fuck am I going to do with this thing? I don't need this. And nothing in there is that exciting to me overall. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, why the hell am I paying $250 for a statue I don't even care about?
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, I just canceled that and just ordered a normal PS4 edition. And then I got a PC version. Amazon had a good sale on PC version at one point.
Oh, damn.
It was
What's that then?
$50.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Which is for a pre-order version. I'm like, sure.
That's my PS4. It's $50. That's
nice.
why I've kept that for so long. But then if I don't have the disc version moving forward, I can't keep that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not planning to play on my PS4.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to play on PC. So
yeah,
it's some shooters.
Although that's the thing that came out. They put the PC specs out this week.
I saw that. Yeah.
They're really tame. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Even the recommended specs, I'm like, wow, okay, that shouldn't be hard to meet. And that's a reason why it probably runs fine on a PS4.
Oh, they have fucking Witcher 3 running on Switch, and it's muddy, but fine.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and they probably improved their internal engine quite a bit over these years. So
they've had the money to do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we had all this PlayStation stuff. When was that?
That was Tuesday?
Tuesday. And then Thursday, Nintendo had their Direct Mini.
Yeah. Opened up with something called Monster Hunter Rise.
I know. What's that? I haven't heard of that before.
You watched the Direct afterwards, right? The
yeah, of course.
So what was in there? Because I didn't watch. I turned
just more details on the specifics of yes, it's still very much big open levels like World.
There's no zones.
It's not the zones like the other. It's I don't know if the levels are going to be as big as the World levels, but there's not zones. You can freely traverse through the entire map without going to different zones. But you have a mount now, a dog thing you can ride, and you still have your cats, your palicos, and you can dress them up and give them armor, everything. That's the best part. But you can have two animal companions now. You can have one of each, or you can have two of the same type. Doesn't matter. So you can have 2 cats or 2 dogs, a cat and a dog. That's going to sell copies. I'll guarantee it.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. As long as you can pet them.
I'm sure you can. So the key thing is, like, watching through even the Monster Hunter Direct, it is very much Monster Hunter World.
Really?
It feels that way. Like, it is definitely a continuation of those mechanics, not old Monster Hunter mechanics. Plus some new things, because there's a lot of, like, wall running and climbing. So it's very vertical.
I like the bug whip thing or whatever.
Yeah, the bug whip, so you can get higher and you do all
Yeah.
sorts of crazy shit.
God, you put what, 200 hours in the world?
275.
Holy Jesus Christ! I thought I was highballing you. Good God.
Yeah, it was a lot. I loved that game. Actually, the only reason I probably stopped playing was one, friends stopped playing, but it was the constant. There was too many constant updates and new things to do. I could not keep up.
You didn't want to get your Geralt.
There's a very there's a fine line between, like, hey, I want continuous, like, updates, to there's the hose is on and I just can't handle this
that much. Yeah.
And it just starts feeling like you're just drowning in content you'll never see.
Well, and after you miss like one or two, you're like, all right, well, I guess I'm out.
Yeah, and that's basically what happened. So maybe they can figure out their cadence on that a little bit better, but the core game is, I am so down for this. It's going to be amazing, and it's on the Switch again, back to a Nintendo console again. And it doesn't look like it's on any other platform.
No, I think this was specific for Nintendo. This is console exclusive.
Which is huge.
It's like a modified version of the RE engine, or maybe it just is the RE engine that's on.
Weird. Okay. Yeah, I'm all in. It's March 26th next year. So.
Oh, I thought it was in June or something. That's early.
No.
Okay.
Nope. Before the end of the fiscal year.
Oh, that's right. There's like a couple days before, like, okay, we're just in the fiscal year. Yeah.
The one in June or summer is the Monster Hunter Stories 2, which I have no clue what Monster Hunter Stories is. But I'll likely play it.
Like
it looks pretty.
Traditional JRPG version of Monster Hunter. Yeah.
Yep. I'll play it.
I played the demo of the original one on the 3DS. It was fun. It was a long demo too.
Yeah. And
I found out this weekend, I don't know what's happening with my life, man, but my 3DS is where Mario Odyssey is apparently, because I don't know where the fuck it is. I don't know what's I'm losing my mind in my shit. Oh man, when 3D All-Stars like, I enlisted my daughter to help me find Odyssey. Couldn't find it. Looked through everything. When All-Stars came in on Wednesday, she almost cried because I put it out on the bed for her to see. I wanted her to play one of the games with her. And she saw it and she grabbed it and she's like, "You found Odyssey." And I was like, I don't have the heart to tell you that it's not Odyssey, so I just said yes. So we opened up and I showed her, I showed her 64, Sunshine, and got like the title screens and Galaxy, and she chose Galaxy. She said, "Which one is Odyssey?" And I was like, this one. I pointed to Galaxy. So we played a little bit of Galaxy, and she thinks it's Odyssey. I'm a bad parent.
You are a bad parent. She's going to be able to read at some point. She's going to see that and be like, I can never trust you again.
Yep. You have betrayed my trust.
What else was in here? I mean, it was a lot of...
Rune Factory 5, Disgaea 6, Sniper Hunter Elite 4.
The Long
There's like
Dark.
a lot of niche games,
Long Dark, I saw in there.
Long Dark. But then they ended with a banger, Ori.
Yeah. And that was available that Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently it runs really well.
Cool.
On Switch. And so does the other kind of, we knew it was coming, but Hades released.
Oh, yeah.
I know that you've been playing that, so it might be a good transition into what we've been playing.
So, didn't play a lot during the week, and then just other things going on. But I really played a bunch of Hades over the weekend, especially today. I hadn't played Hades probably for 6 or 7 months. I bought it on Epic Game Store. I had a coupon at one point. I'm like, I want this game. I just want to kind of wait till it's out of early access. And I played it for, how long did I play it? Maybe an hour back then. Mm-hmm. Enough to be like, oh, this is well done. Okay, I want to wait till it's done. When they consider it done, I'll hold off. And so it's done now. Came out, and on a note, they sold 300,000 copies since it's released.
Across all platforms? Or
since it hit 1.0, they've sold 300,000 copies on all platforms.
When I saw something today, it said they've sold 1 million overall.
Yeah, total, because they had 700,000 during early access.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things that shows is playing the 1.0 release is that they've had 700,000 players tuning the shit out of that game.
Nice.
Everything feels so tight. It's so good. like mechanically, it's just so sound. There's so many systems all working together and all balanced very nicely. Like I'm now finally getting into the thought of like, oh, I want to go after these gods specifically so I can, when I'm doing a run, to make a certain build for a certain weapon, hopefully. And you can start seeing those divergent paths in your upgrade trees and your runs. And then I have to say the big thing that's gotten, like, I've done, in those 4 hours, I've done 11 runs total. I've made it to the boss of the second area and died about halfway through that fight. But I'm amazed at the story. Like, this is one thing to be said about roguelites is that they don't present story that well because you're just dying and repeating. Yep. The story in this is really good. Like, oh wow, as good as any other Supergiant game.
Oh man, the story
it's presented really so well. It's this dying loop and the way that they have the story fit together. It's not your traditional story of like, oh, I'm going from beginning to end. Like, you die and you loop, but you talk to these characters over and over, and they all have new things to say, and you're starting to get the infighting of the different gods, like a bickering family, and you start seeing all these secrets and lies and deceits. I got to the first major plot twist for your main character on my 9th run. Oh wow. And it was like, I was just blown away. I was like, what the hell am I doing right now? I'm learning a big chunk of new information. What does this mean? So it's a neat presentation of story, but they've done the huge thing of, this is an incredible roguelike that actually tells a story. And the roguelike structure is part of the storytelling.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
The ludo-narrative dissonance is not there.
No, it's not. It really contextually works together really well. And I've heard that to like beat the game in a single run, it takes a few hours.
Oh wow.
These aren't like, I have no clue how many total areas there are. Like I said, I made it to the second one. I'm like, I have no clue how far it goes. But it's also a roguelite because you are collecting currencies and everything, and
that like persist.
Yeah, you have all sorts of persistent stuff, and you're like, you have all your weapons, and you have different things you can do with them. You have different items that you get from gods by like gifting different things to different gods. They'll give you an item, and you can equip one item on your run. So there's those to be done. There's your room where you have a mirror you can look into, and you can like buff your stats. So you do all sorts of crazy things. And I just learned that I'm like, oh, there's not a huge amount here. Oh, I can unlock a few more down the mirror. So, okay, there's a few. And then I just hit a thing that's like, no, actually each one of those can be cycled between 2 options, and each has an upgrade path. There's like 40 different traits you can upgrade, in the end.
That makes it so replayable.
There's so much. There's stuff about like adding rooms to the dungeons and upgrading those rooms and doing that so that they start appearing in your runs. The amount of content in it is insane. I'll just leave it at that.
What was the price when it launched? Is it 25?
25. It's 20 on, I think, most places right now. It's on sale. Right. It's well worth that price.
Yeah, I might grab it on Switch for the versatility of passing that save back and forth.
Yeah, when it comes, that's the one thing that they did not get into 1.0.
Yeah.
They put out a big post saying, we're sorry we don't have cross saves with Switch at launch. We had planned on it, but it was either hold the release to get that, or release now and do the 1.0, the cross saves as a later update for Switch. It will cross save between Steam and Epic, fine, or any of the PC stuff. There's something to do with the Switch cross save that was having problems.
I didn't realize their exclusivity with Epic was already over.
Yeah, it finished in December.
Oh, last year?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh shit. Okay.
They were still in early access whenever the exclusivity ended. They had 1 year of exclusivity with Epic.
Right. Oh, it's been a while then. Jeez.
Yeah, they were in early access for a while.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah. And it's just good. I mean, I'm playing it. I'm kind of feeling like this is Supergiant's magnum opus in a lot of ways. Like the music and voice acting, story tied to gameplay, the mechanics of the fighting is like Bastion taken to the next level. Just Bastion refined over and over and over again to just be so responsive. And huge variety in attacks and weapons.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, I got to keep playing it. That there's very much like I'm like, oh, this is coming close to potentially being game of the year for me, and how good it feels and how much it's drawing me into being like, I can do one more run. I can just do another room because it always saves on every room you go into.
Oh, so you're like, you can stop your run?
Yeah, you can stop mid-run, but it only saves at the beginning of it. So if you beat a room, don't exit, go to the next room and then exit.
Right.
But you're already gone to that next room, and rooms only take a few minutes tops. So
it's like Stardew Valley.
So why not just play another room? Why not?
Yeah, right.
It's really good. It's
just hearing the timbre of your voice. I'm like, this is going to be a GOTY contender for you. This is going to be like a Path of Exile. Like you're going to be talking about this perpetually for the next few years.
Probably. And the art is amazing.
Yeah, it looks really, really good.
And the art is even better now. Like they've done such improvements to the art over their early access, and
that's cool.
Just kind of redesigning the characters slight, like not huge overhauls, but you're just like, oh, it's really refined now. Again, the early access stuff worked really well for this type of game.
You're making me want to do a run before I switch over to Ghost later tonight.
There's part of me, I'm like, and I think Ghost has really good combat. That's the thing about it. I was like thinking about this. I'm like, Ghost has really tight combat and everything. I think Hades combat is better. Different type of game, but I'm just like, Hades combat just feels even better.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's been getting a ton of buzz since it got out of 1.0. So out of early access into 1.0, and it deserves it. It's
I'm looking at it here. It says I played a total of 15 minutes, so I guess I haven't played very much at all.
Yeah, everything is voice acted, with good voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
So they pulled out all the stops for this one. I'm very curious if they do continue more updates to it, or if this is effectively the end. And if that's the case, I have no clue what they do next.
Right.
But I guess I said that after Transistor 2. I don't know what they do next. So
yeah, they went from Transistor to Pyre. Which didn't hit like other games they've put out have.
No. You know? I mean, it still looked amazing. The music was cool. It just people weren't as hyped on the fantasy sports ball thing.
No. Yeah, that piece really killed it for me. Like, this is not that fun.
But I don't know where they go from here. But hopefully this solidifies them for quite a while in money, and they can just kind of continue along.
Right. Iterate on whatever they're doing next.
Yeah. That's the thing that has stuck with me over this week. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, I'll go through this quickly. I have a list of 5 things. I'll start with Fall Guys. I loaded it up today just to show my daughter because I thought she'd think it was, colorful, and we're doing like a lot of like physical, like platform challenges and puzzles and whatever in our house with her. So it's kind of gamification of that a little bit. She loved it, so I turned it on, and first time she's seen it, first time I played it in like a month, win the first round. I go, okay, that I'm pretty good. The seesaw, that's fine, whatever. And then there were 3 team games in a row and won them all.
Oh my God.
Got to the final round. I was like, I don't usually get to the final round. And my heart starts beating a little bit harder. I was like, okay, it's cool. My wife comes downstairs and she's like, are you in the final round? I was like, yep. What? And then it's the grab a crown one. And then running up the hill. Yeah. Get knocked down, get back up. I'm like number 2 or number 3, and then I just get whacked, and I just get whacked again, and it's just like slips out of my grasp. But my daughter loved it, and she wants to watch more of it. So
yeah, we did. It's a very silly game. It makes sense.
Super, totally, and it's right up our alley right now because, unfortunately, with Origami King, I had to finish that by myself today, and with Mario All Stars Collection, the quote unquote Odyssey. A lot of our pretend play has turned into boss battles, and she's gotten pretty aggressive and wanting to like defeat everyone and be really like angry and yelling at people. And we're like, okay, okay. I was like, okay, I'm done with this. So I pulled the plug on any game that has battling at all. Like we thought Wind Waker was bad for her behavior, but we saw it through. And then this is it's everything every time. So we sat her down, talked to her about it, and then everything was fine. And our pretend play has totally been a lot better. So we are not doing any games. Even like the Mario battling is just too much. She just wants to recreate it, obviously. But I finished Origami King today. Did the last 3 hours by myself. But I took a ton of screenshots along the way in the video so I could show her the culmination of the story. So I sat down with her and ran through the screenshots and for about maybe 25 minutes, and she got the end of the story, which I want to talk about, but I don't want to spoil it for people.
Okay.
I don't know if you're going to play this game or not, but
Probably not.
Okay. Well, spoilers for Origami King then. The main villain and then your main helper, Olivia, like I've shown you like the little purple and yellow kind of floaty things. They both die. Olivia sacrifices herself to save the kingdom or whatever, and like it's really heavy. There were a couple. Bobby the Bomb as well sacrificed himself to save Olivia, and then Olivia sacrifices herself to save Princess Peach. But the way that it works out is when Intelligent Systems is interfacing with Nintendo doesn't want them to create any main characters that will become canon or crossover or like permeate beyond this game. So they've created these two great characters that have to die, basically. Like they can't leave the bounds of this game. And that kind of sucks because they're really cool characters. But it was like, I was like misty-eyed at the ending. And I was just like, oh man, I'm really into these characters. Like they did such a good job localizing this game. And it's a 10 out of 10. It's a GOTY contender for me for sure. I was cruising the Nintendo Switch subreddit and I saw like the dev or something talking about a game called A Dark Room, which is basically a text-based like resource management town builder where it's has like a slim column on the left side. It's all like just like grayscale, like ASCII almost. And it just tells you like, you know, you've brought in this much wood, you brought in this much meat, you brought in this much fur. A new person.
Oh, I've seen this thing before.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah, on a web page, like in its web form.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably like a, I don't know, not Flash, but whatever.
Yeah, HTML5.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can like build a bigger house, build more houses, attract more people, and then you kind of get little snippets of story that's like, you know, she's worried about what's in the dark, and then eventually you can like explore out further, and you just have like a little map that has like a little like I call it a sobaka because that's what it is in Ukrainian, but the @ symbol is like you go there and there's like a house and you explore the house and it's all just text based and you do like a little text based battle. And I was like, I just want to check this out. I saw on the subreddit, it's like, oh, it's $1 on Switch, and I like checked it out, or I was like, oh, I wrote back and said like, this will probably make me check it out. So I went and checked it out on the thing, and I replied to them on Twitter. I was like, yeah, I saw this thing on Reddit. I'm going to check it out. Probably talk about it in the podcast. But I was like, I'll probably only play it for like 5 minutes. And then about an hour later, I was like, okay, this definitely lasted longer than 5 minutes. And I want to keep playing, but I need to switch over to Origami King so I can beat it today. But I enjoyed it. It was only $1. Definitely worth $1. Probably worth more. But I really like the way that it's laid out. Like it's definitely thoughtful. I thought it would be just a, you know, sometimes when you see like the really cheap games on the Switch store, it's just like, I hate to use the term shovelware, but not too great. This is actually for not looking like anything other than like this weird text-based thing, like is pretty interesting.
I'm looking at screenshots. It looks like NetHack.
Okay.
Which is something NetHack is like one of the grandfathers of the roguelikes. I love NetHack so much, but you're an @ symbol. That's the main character. Like that's where this trope has come from, is NetHack and then Rogue before NetHack. That's why it's called roguelikes. Right. Which was text-based adventure RPGs.
Oh, I didn't realize Rogue was a text-based one.
Yeah, original Rogue is a text-based.
But yeah, I think this is definitely worth checking out. If you're into that kind of management game, I don't know if it's unique. I've just never played something like it before, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then the quick thing about Ghost, been playing Ghost of Tsushima the last 2 nights. I had a chance to play both nights in a row, which is unusual. So probably put 2.5 hours each night and just crushing the trophies. I've wiped out Act 1, Act 2. I'm like 2/3 of the way through Act 3. Like that game is going to be done this week probably, and platinum.
Nice.
It is. I mean, I put like 65 hours into this game over the last 2 months. You know, it is fantastic. It is just like the culmination of like learning of like, I don't want to say generic, open worlds, but like it does what open world games are supposed to do, but it does it the best, I think.
Where did I hear someone had basically said, if there's someone who asked you and said, hey, what has the last 10 years of games been like? What's the thing? They're like, I just hand them Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, right.
And just be like, this is it. This is the culmination of that. This is the type of game that the 2010s will go down for.
And it's really cool that is said in such a way that's not like pejorative, like, oh, it's just it's the Ubisoft formula again. Like they just refined it, and it's like that is the encapsulation of that.
Yep.
And I don't think it's 10 out of 10. I think it's like an 8.5 out of 10. But it's still really good, and I have not stuck with a game like this consistently ever. So there's something to be said for that. I think the story's great. I heard a lot of stuff in the reviews about stories kind of mediocre. I think it's great. I think the tales are great. I think the twists are great. I don't know if you've gotten to the end of like Ishikawa's story or whatever.
I have not.
I think it's good. I think it's really good. So gonna play more of that tonight. And then the other thing, when we switched over from the battling games to just other kinds of games, playing with my daughter, a short hike. I did the itch.io bundle for like the racial equality.
Yeah.
And that was one of the 6,000 games that came with that. So I just downloaded the exe and put it on my computer. And just, you're a bird who needs to climb the top of the mountain to get a cell phone reception so they can get a call. And then you explore the island, and you can get a boat, or you can fly around, you can climb, you get in golden feathers to climb higher, and that's kind of it. And you're meeting different characters, and it's just perfect. Super chill hike. It is. You have heard about it.
I have heard about it. Yeah,
but I know other people have as well. Everything you've heard about it is true. It's great. We beat it today. We played it yesterday for an hour and today for an hour, and we beat it, quote unquote, beat it. It's short. It is a short hike, and it is perfect.
Nice
for exactly what I want for my daughter. And that's it. That's all I've been playing.
Well, sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Now you got to play Hades.
Yep. I think I might do a run before I go play Ghost. Because you have talked about it enough that I need to try it again. Anything else for the podcast?
No, I don't think so. We'll be talking about Microsoft next week.
Yes, we will. Good luck, everyone, on your pre-orders on Tuesday.
Yeah. Fight the scalpers. Get one.
Yeah.
If you want one,
do not
get
buy
one.
anything from a goddamn scalper.
Yeah.
There'll be more stock. Just be patient, please. Which is easy to say because we have PS5 so on pre-order, but I would not have bought from a scalper.
I would never bought from a scalper or a reseller or eBay, even if I didn't get a pre-order. I will wait.
Yep. No need. All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening to episode 260. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks everyone.